It was a still morning in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso. President Ibrahim Traoré sat in his office, immersed in documents detailing local policy progress. The silence broke when his assistant, Marie, entered abruptly. "Mr. President," she said, clearly unsettled, "you need to see this, now." Traoré glanced up, intrigued by the urgency in her voice. "What happened?" Marie handed him a tablet displaying a live press conference from the United States. On the screen stood former U.S. President Barack Obama, addressing an audience on global leadership and the urgent need for transformation. But then, something unexpected happened. Obama mentioned Burkina Faso. "Burkina Faso," Obama declared, his voice resonating through the hall, "is a shining example of how smaller nations can lead monumental change. Under the leadership of Ibrahim Traoré, the country is proving that dignity and self-reliance are not just dreams, but tangible goals." Traoré froze. Hearing his name from Obama, especially in that light, was surreal. He stared at the screen, absorbing each word that followed. "Traoré has turned away from traditional aid dependency," Obama continued. "He's fostering a model built on mutual trust and belief in his own people. That, my friends, is real leadership." The audience erupted in applause. Behind Obama, images of Burkina Faso's transformation played. Farmers reclaiming dry land, children studying in new classrooms, young inventors developing local tech solutions. Traoré lowered the tablet slowly, still in disbelief. "I didn't expect that," he murmured, shaking his head. Marie was smiling now. "Mr. President, this is extraordinary. The world is witnessing your work." But Traoré remained quiet, contemplating the gravity of Obama's praise. It wasn't about him. It was about the people, the collective effort of Burkina Faso's citizens striving for progress. "Marie," he said finally, "we must respond, not with pride, but with gratitude and humility." She nodded, already moving to prepare. She understood this could become a pivotal moment in the nation's story. Back in the US, Obama concluded with a message just for Traoré. "Ibrahim," he said, looking straight into the camera, "if you're watching, know that your courage inspires us. Africa doesn't need to be saved. It needs to be respected." His words exploded across social media. Hashtags like "Near Respect for Africa" and "Han Leadership with Dignity" spread rapidly, igniting global conversations around sovereignty, community-driven policies, and Africa's true place on the world stage. In Ouagadougou, Traoré still sat reflecting. This wasn't mere recognition, it was a global acknowledgement of a new path. "Marie," he said after a pause, "prepare a press conference. The world needs to see that these policies aren't about me, they're about our people." She nodded again, already organizing the team. She knew this was more than just another speech. It was history in the making. The next day, Ibrahim Traoré stood at the podium in the presidential palace. The room buzzed with anticipation. Journalists, local and international, waited to hear his response to Obama's message. Wearing traditional Burkina attire, he stepped forward with quiet strength. "Yesterday," he began, "President Obama spoke of our country in a way that left me speechless." The crowd hushed. Every eye was on him. "I didn't expect to hear my name from someone of his stature," he continued. "But what moved me most wasn't the recognition of me. It was the recognition of our people." Then came the announcement, a new national initiative, the Sovereign Future Program. Its goal, empower communities to create local, sustainable solutions, free from dependency on foreign aid. "This is more than policy," Traoré said. "It is a declaration that we are capable, that Africa doesn't need saving, it needs to be respected." The room erupted in applause, especially among local journalists. Yet some international reporters remained skeptical. "Mr. President," one French journalist asked, "how do you plan to implement these initiatives without outside resources? Isn't it a gamble?" Traoré smiled calmly. "Every step forward carries risk, but the greater risk is compromising our dignity for the sake of help. We are investing in our people, and I believe in them." His words echoed across social media. Debates over independence, aid, and sustainable development intensified. The hashtags from the day before surged again. Respect for Africa, leadership with dignity, now global trends. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Traoré's administration was already in motion. The agriculture minister met with rural leaders to prioritize needs. Marie, now leading coordination efforts, traveled to villages to hear farmers directly. "This changes everything," said an elderly farmer during one visit. "At last we'll farm our land and feed our families ourselves." Marie smiled, touched. This was more than policy, it was transformation. Obama's words about Traoré had sparked a global reaction. Leaders, movements, and everyday citizens across continents began to see Burkina Faso in a new light, a nation writing its own story. And in the United States, too, the question quietly grew louder. If Burkina Faso can do it, why can't we? The global response to Obama's speech was mixed. While many applauded his effort to highlight authentic leadership from the global south, others questioned the premise. Could African nations truly thrive without foreign aid? During a live broadcast, a well-known political commentator voiced admiration for Traoré. "He's reminding us of something we've long forgotten." The analyst said, "Leadership isn't about prescribing solutions, it's about helping people discover their own." Across Africa, Traoré's vision sparked celebration. Inspired by Burkina Faso's example, several nations began tailoring similar programs. In Nigeria, youth activists launched the Value Your People campaign, raising funds to help rural areas create sustainable change. Back home, Traoré continued to receive reports on the Sovereign Future program. In a small village, he met Fatou, a carpenter and trainer empowered by the initiative. "Before, I couldn't even feed my kids," she said in an interview with a local station. "Now I'm helping other women build a new future. It's all thanks to President Traoré." Her story quickly went viral, further shaping Traoré's image as a leader, driven not by ego, but by people-centered progress. Hashtags like Respect for Africa and their leadership with dignity surged again, drawing attention to public policies grounded in local empowerment. Behind the scenes, work continued. The agriculture minister partnered with universities to provide hands-on training for farmers. Marie, now a key coordinator, ensured communities had access to essentials like clean water and electricity. "We're only just beginning," Traoré said during a team briefing. "But the signs of change are already clear, and this isn't just economic. It's cultural, social, and most of all, human." A journalist observing the process scribbled a line into his notebook. "Today, in Burkina Faso, I saw Africa's future. An Africa that respects its past, uplifts its heroes, and builds a bridge of dignity for all." Meanwhile, Fatou made her way slowly toward the new innovation center, her heart a mix of emotion. She had traveled hours from Bobo Dioulasso, carrying not just a suitcase, but her mother's hopes. Marie, the social worker who once mentored her, was already there, tears in her eyes as she managed final preparations for the ceremony. Beside her stood Malik, the boy once treated in a makeshift clinic, now smiling in a fresh sweater, proudly holding a board filled with pictures of community initiatives. When Traoré saw Fatou enter, he stepped down from the stage and walked toward her. His voice trembled as he extended his hand. "Welcome," he said gently. "You're living proof that we're building something greater than ourselves." Fatou nodded, eyes glistening. My mother always believed this day would come, she whispered, clutching a tattered book that had belonged to her. Inside was a simple handwritten line. Knowledge is the greatest inheritance we can leave. Traoré read the words, visibly moved. He understood. This was more than nostalgia. It was legacy. Every seed of opportunity was now bearing fruit. Taking the stage once again, Traoré addressed the crowd. Today, he began, his voice calm and steady, we're not just celebrating statistics or policies, we're honoring the people who shaped this nation with their hands, their ideas, and their faith. You are the true foundation of Burkina Faso. Then he turned to the cameras, knowing Obama might be watching. Mr. Obama, he said, your words humbled me, but they weren't just about me. They were about every citizen of this country who works each day to build something better. The crowd responded with warm applause. On the screen behind him, a montage played. Fields in bloom, students in modern classrooms, young engineers testing solar panels. Fatou was invited to speak. At first hesitant, she stepped forward, book in hand. My mother taught me to fight for my dreams, she said softly. Today, because of this center, I can pursue hers too. I want to use my skills to help our people grow more food and protect the land. Thunderous applause followed. Traoré embraced her with emotion. In that moment, he knew the project's true success wasn't in policy, it was in people like Fatou. Again, the journalist wrote quietly, Today, in Burkina Faso, I saw the future of an Africa that honors its heritage, its heroes, and dares to dream. Back in the US, Obama watched the event unfold live. During a TV interview, he was asked again about IBRAHIM Traoré. This guy is different, Obama said with a smile. He's proving that true leadership means listening to your people and leading with humility. The quote spread instantly, reinforcing the idea that real leadership wasn't performative. It was personal, transformative, grounded in human connection. Meanwhile, in a small Burkina Faso village, Traoré visited a school built through the Land Reform Initiative. There he met Mamadou, a child who had received his first school supplies through the program. Mr. President, the boy said shyly, his voice trembling, this is for you. I just wanted to show we're using what you gave us, to learn. Traoré bent down, visibly moved. Mamadou, he said with warmth, you don't owe us anything. You're proving that when people are given the right tools, they can change the world.